9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
Yes, indeed, race fans here live, presented by Bostech and Speedmasters. We present to you the Misfitz iRacing League's SRM Truck Series live at the famed Atlanta Motor Speedway, and the track of the Superspeedway configuration they have now brought to the table here is on full display for the first time on P-Series TV. As we get ready to get set for the action, set for the pace right now, field is currently just practicing their way around, getting some last-minute efforts in. Currently, our top speeds are judged by their drafting position as well as their speed positions here, as we get ready for their qualifying endeavors in just a little bit. But let's take a look at something here we got going on right now. Let's take a look at the track tech talk. And ever since this updated model here of Atlanta Motor Speedway, this has been an absolutely, completely reversed out, changed up style configuration. Still a mile and a half in length, but the bankings went from a 24 degree to a 28 degree in the corners and the turns. Wider in width and deeper in its turns. It allows for speeds to just absolutely be hammered home and taken full control of. And with a 550 horsepower package that these trucks already deal with and mesh with, you just know they are absolutely going to be put to their limit, put to their wires here when all is said and done. As the field currently gets squared out from the drivers' meeting right now. Still a little bit of time left before we get to the actual action here. Race fans, if you can, and well, please be sure to share the stream around here. Get some like and love on the show for these boys. These Misfits currently have come forward to try to put on a show for them at home, as well as everyone around the track, as we are getting ready for the action right up ahead. Matt Mingo here, just still kind of pacing around the track. He is currently in the drivers' meeting listening to the other guys. We cannot let you guys in on that as well. We're currently just going to have to stay out of that and leave them be, but as we get through the rest of the day, we will be going to bring drivers in throughout the show and throughout the race, just to give you guys an insight on what they're feeling, what they're dealing with here on the track, as they're working so difficultly and hard to just find the right area and the right pace and timing to maneuver around this very tough circuit with 120 laps on the distance. And one other thing too, since it was repaved and transformed a little bit more into that configuration, it has also, in my opinion, become more of a bit of a wide open-ended track here. Obviously, it's designed more for just keeping your speeds high and keeping your momentum good. But I mean, there's one thing we could say that's definitely made things a little bit more interesting. It's just kind of how crazy these drivers are going to have to maneuver around the field, kind of maneuver around in places that maybe they weren't expecting to. There is a lot of chances for risk and high reward, but at the same time here with the Superspeedway kind of configuration, you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck in that pack. You don't necessarily have an outside line to go to for comfort and support. The outside is a bit of a mess up there. It makes for things to be a lot more difficult and a lot more troublesome to get around. These drivers are well aware of that, and they're currently just trying to figure out how to dictate that pace when they get into this race. Raj Manakbooty here coming out on the 67 camp. Number 26, Kelly Hyatt, Craftsman Trucks as well. Gonna get the Ford F-150 out on the spot on the speedway. One thing I will say as well, the Ford definitely had a bit of an advantage here with that sloped end truck and that sloped end configuration. The way it is shaped and configured in, I believe it probably will be one of your top draws or top picks here to come away with a race win. But how long they will be able to get that done and figure it out, who's to say? But you know, the Chevys like Kenneth Brown, the 98, will certainly have a little something to say about that. They don't want to exactly be taken down like that easily. Either Chase Shipley in that 15, but their hard run they had on the other tracks may be in question here with a track like this one, considering all that they've got to go up against. Waylon Turner with some problems, unfortunately, here. Blown motor on his end is currently the Bostech, number 98. Kind of Brown gets a little bit of a lap around the track, getting himself squared up. Also, just heads up, race fans, we do have a new camera we're going to try out here. Yeah, I kind of stuck a pole to one of the fences up here, so I stuck a camera there. We'll see these drivers really coming straight to the line and straight to the finish here. We'll have to see if this is going to be something that works out well or not. But you'll be able to see how close they come to that line, how close they come to that edge of the track in the late stages of these races, and also straight to that finish here. Should be interesting to see. 120 laps to the distance here. Of course, lap times in the 30s, at 30s, 31s here. On a normal without a draft, you're looking at about 32-ish there. So there could be difference between success and failure here. You never can be too sure. Drivers right now look like they're maybe just sizing each other up, maybe ready to get a draft pack going here. And I think that's what they want to do. With about 3 minutes left before we enter into the qualifying stage, Waylon Turner, Kenneth Brown, Raj Manapudi, Kelly Hyatt, Patrick Jenks, Matt Mingo are all now on the track. They're looking to get a little bit of a feel today on that drift and that graft. The grip, the draft, the power, the speeds, this is going to be something they're going to have to be very, very careful of, without a doubt. Oh, and definitely avoiding that kind of scenario there. That is not what they want to see, and that's not what they want to have happen. Thankfully for them, this is just practice, so they don't have to worry about too much consequences, but later in the race, that could be a different story, to say the least. Field still preparing each other, still getting ready to get at to it. The Keystone corner, number 12, Matt Mingo, we've seen him already kind of patrolling around the track, laying down some laps, getting a feel for everything he's about to go up against. And I actually had the privilege to get into one of my trucks here. I actually got my old Crusader scheme out and threw it out on the track. And I mean, the difference I can tell you is it's a much smoother track. That's like the best thing I can tell you, guys. It's just much smoother. Being in the track behind a giraffe when I was testing it, it's not as complicated to make a move as you may think, but the problem is working with another driver to actually get the opportunity to make that move is the hardest part of all of it, and I think these guys are well aware of that and definitely well aware of what they're up against. Driver Keith, the 48 Toyota Tundra, going to bring out the NOS energy drink machine. See how he does here on the track. See how he does before we enter into the qualifying portion of our event. Drivers are returning to their team stables. We'll talk to those that come in from qualifying. We'll see how they fare and how they shape because we're about to enter in there. Yeah, it looks like Matt Mingo is having a little bit of fun, shall we say. about 14 seconds left now. We'll have got a few drivers here already lined up in position. Currently today we have 22 drivers set for staging. 21 have made a lap around the track or put some fields up in perspective. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out and who comes away on top of the leaderboard and on top of the lineup list, because now the time has come to bring out qualifying here to the stage. Field is now ready to go here. We are going to get them on the clock now. The clock is set. We got 5 minutes in the qualifying stage. And race fans as well, today's race presented in part, of course, by our friends at Bostech and Speedmasters. And if you guys are wondering just who the heck is Bostech and who the heck is Speedmasters, well, let me let you in on a little info trail here. Speedmasters is the world record-setting boat manufacturer here for that hobbyist market. Championship-winning remote control model boat design and world record-setting remote control speed model boats. To get yourself one, be sure to visit them up and email at speedmasterboats@gmail.com. Also, it was presented in part by our friends down at Bostech. We keep America moving with our EGR coolers, injectors, emissions, pumps, sensors, harnesses, turbochargers, kits, gaskets, seals, and more. There is no other place to go than with Bostech. Alright, here we go. Getting ready to get them settled on the track, ready to field them down into perspective here. We are ready to go. Drivers are now ready to shoot for the moon and shoot for the runs. This should be an interesting one here. See what these guys can put up at stake and put on the market here. Of course, there's a lot going down. There's a lot of ideals here that they're going to have to work with, and they're going to have to keep a close eye on. No, they cannot be making too many mistakes out of the gate. No, they need to stay focused and reverberated when running on this track and running on the surface, and they're very well aware of that. MRL saying, let's go racing. Good luck, guys. That's a little love from the MRL camp. Well, laps are pulling in. Josh Previtt has already taken top honors in 35. As he tries to get another time in, and he's not going to get this one in. Slams that right in the wall off turn number 1 and 2. Huge hit for the Mountain Dew at 35. And Jesse Singleton just barely able to out-nudge him here and take that one over. He is going to take top honors and top privilege there. That will certainly help his case here, but he gets in to see how close it is. Literally separated by 1,000th of a second between Singleton and Previtt. And now Shipley putting down his time. It's only at 32.56. Not quite the time I think he was expecting. Waylon Turner, though, massive gain and boost here. 32.29 for the number 3. And Ryan Sipu literally laying down the exact same time, man. Oh my word, 32.29, and just barely edged out by a couple thousandths of a second by Kenneth Brown, the 98. Leaves them all in the dust, 32.26. Teammate Chase Shipley's first lap was a 32.56. His second lap, 32.37. That will set him a little bit more down on the middle pack range here. Matthew Karakov's first lap, 32.98, but now as he gets ready to close off the gap, close off the track, looks like he's going to try to stay this thing straight to the bottom. They can't just run the line there on the back straightaway. They get the most speed. They need to run more towards the outside wall. But when you're in a draft as well and you're learning freight track style, I don't think anybody's really thinking about that all that too much. Straight to the line, and the big 00 will pilot a 32.25, and you have a new hard charger, fastest of the day, the 00 Matthew Karakov. Well, that sure tells you a lot right there. Let's see what Jenks has got here. See if that 38 Fireball machine can get a little whiskeyed up and satisfying on the taste. His laps now put on full rank. Here he goes. He's got one more lap to go still before he has set a time, and he knows that he's going to set his time now, though. Sends it down towards the bottom. Immediately going to try to grip that bottom lane as much as possible. Looks like he's going to try a completely different strategy here compared to Karakov and all them. I'm not sure if I agree with it too much. Getting that speed going kicked up to the outside, then driving it back to the inside run like you would do normally in Atlanta seemed to be the fastest route, but it looks like Jenks is trying to still kind of cut the corners a little bit. His time definitely shows for it though, 32.43. And this is not going to be any better here. He's already loose. Truck's gone. Truck is gone, and he knew as well that will kind of end out his chances here. But nevertheless, race fans, the time has come indeed. We are now set to go from qualifying. Here is your grading order. Presented by Speedmasters. Here is the lineup on the pole. Matthew Karakov will be the 00. His outside is the 98, Kenneth Brown. Row number 2 is Joe Tardif, and the 1 is outside Waylon Turner, piling in the 3. Row number 3 is Ryan Zebu in the 10. His outside will be Dominic Previtt in the big bad 39. Row number 4 is Grant Turner, and the 96. His outside is going to be the 51 of Jesse Singleton. And row 5 is Josh Previtt. The 35 is outside. The 24 is Hunter Bailey. Row number 6, then it is Chase Shibley. And the 15 as outside will then be the number 48, Trevor Keith. Row 7 then sees TJ Lear. And the 85 will be his outside, though it is the 12, Matt Mingo. Row number 8, it is Tyler Willard. And the 20 is outside, being in the 38, Patrick Jenks. Row number 9 is Philip Willis, and the 4 is outside. The 23 will be the Anthony Emmerich camp in the Tundra. And row number 10, then it is the 67 Raj Manakpudi. It is outside is Kelly Hyatt in the 26. Final starters. And row 11, Julian Gande, and the 18, the outside, Ron Holmes, the 33. Race fans, you want to see a show? Do you want to see something new? How about this? Atlanta Superspeedway has now risen from the real world to the virtual world, and it's time to go racing on the famed tough track that has now become a superspeedway in its own right. Travis Johnson saying, let's go racing, boys and girls. Travis, great to have you on board here today. And we are ready to get to it, everyone. Daily Football Roundup saying I'm here to cheer on anyone but Emmerich after he cost me all that money. Well, Daily Football League, I have no comment for that, sir. That's on your end, not mine, my friend. We'll set the field up, get the drivers lined up in position now. The field is stacked with 22 heavy hitters of the Misfitz iRacing League ready to showboat and take it on. Well, the Daily Football League wants anyone but Emmerich. I guess I'll let him do his own thing there because the drivers are about to do their own thing now. Race fans, you set the motion, you set the field. It's time to go racing. Here we go. The Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Super Speedway configuration is now underway. Here we go. 120 laps to the distance. These drivers are going to go full send, full kill mode, no matter what they do. Already out of the gate, some going to the bottom, some trying to evade trouble early. And speaking of trying to evade trouble early, Anthony Emmerich, the 23, major problems off of turn number 2. The truck has gone crashing out, and he's out of this place. Travis Johnson saying, let's go all my SM boys. Well, right now, whoever was rooting, just not wanting Emmerich to win, I think may have gotten their wish. But Emmerich, what a tough break there. For the 23, lost his run early and just completely wrecked out on the first lap of all things. And do my eyes deceive me, or am I visiting my childhood again? What is this? The 98 of Kenneth Brown. He's not just running, you know, that chase. He's not running just that Bostech truck. He's also got ahead of him in the 96 a Teku styled up Grant Turner. For those that do not know, and I'm geeking out a little bit, yes I know, but Teku is actually a car team that was made from the Hot Wheels Acceleracers franchise, and at the time of this recording still doesn't have a fifth movie, by the way, Hot Wheels. But that scheme, that design, kind of correlates back to my childhood. That was one of my absolute favorite movies and favorite series growing up. So yeah, if I kind of geek out a little bit for seeing that, I don't care. That is absolutely awesome to see the Teku getting a little bit of that love that they deserve. That's awesome stuff to see. So back to reality here. Let's try to get things put back together a little bit. Matthew Kurakov right now, your race leader, currently holding the field back. Guys trying to find a room on the outside line, trying to find some speed and an uptake up there, but they're not quite getting any run there. Patrick Dink staying way back into the field. Tyler Willard in the 20 also kind of doing a very similar strategy in route gear. You can just see too, this is going to be something they're going to have a real hard time figuring out. This dilemma is going from the high bank turns to then that tri-oval configuration design, and then having to figure out a way to get around that angle, the way around that track. There's just not a lot of breathing room for them to get around that sanctuary and that angle, because again, you literally have to find any kind of extra speed, any kind of extra power in the outside that's really not there. It's really more for passing than anything. Back when it was original Atlanta, the outside and the bottom lane had room to do either or, but you usually separated out drivers rather quickly, except for this 550 horsepower package, and even Kelly Hyatt here with troubles trying to see what he can do after Anthony Emmerich's little trouble situation here. Splash and go, grab fixed up, Teku design, number 96 Grant Turner here, keeping the wheels good, keeping the speeds up. And for the record, I believe he is actually imitating Shiraku Takamoto's truck that he had in the actual franchise movie. So you got the speakers in the back, got that styled up rig, and man, I don't know, I'm over the moon, man. I love it. I absolutely love that design. Ryan Zieber right now in the number 10, currently holding the bottom lane down in his number 10 machine. The Union number 10 Silverado, trying to keep everything up to par and up to good speeds, while Kurakov continues to hold the race lead as of now anyway. Kurakov has been in this shoe and he's been in this boat before. He's had plenty of races where it could have gone to the wire, could have gone to the end, and he would have been in trouble. But the race like this, I can guarantee you, he is looking to try to make every ounce count and everything work his way around this place. Black Decker number 51 here, that is Jesse Singleton. Good to see him back out on the track as well. He's currently maneuvering through, kind of marching to his own tune of his own drum. You got Waylon Turner and Chase Shipley kind of messing around with him right behind and on the outside of him, kind of round hanging up topside for the time being. And honestly, I am kind of curious, you know, how does the tire wear actually kind of affect here with this kind of a racing line, this kind of a racing platform? Because one thing we always talk about at Superspeedways is tire wear doesn't burn off. It doesn't get out of control, it doesn't get crazier. But this is a sharp angled Atlanta Motor Speedway. This should honestly do a little bit to tires, and obviously it will do a lot to the fuel run. But tire wear wise, this is an interesting little question. You know, how much does it tear up on the track, or if it at all? Because remember, they do have to turn in pretty quickly in the turn off turn 4 down on that first straightaway where the quad oval is, of the tri-oval design. But it's more of a quad oval because there's actually a little straight there in the middle of it. You see right there coming off that line there, then they just swing it back in. That's where the quad oval is. Hard to say right now, but I can guarantee you the outside is getting no love and support up there. It's getting very difficult to work on that playing field. It's getting really difficult to figure out a way around it. Onboard camera here with the number 4 Ford F-150. Philip Willis here keeping his distance, keeping it up into the charge with Chase Shibley in 15. Looking to drown out all thoughts and make sure only he and himself can make the momentum work in his favor and in his camp. Josh John saying, hopefully here I get out of here and get with these boys. I miss running with the boys. Travis, yeah, we certainly would love to see you back on the show or out on the tractor, sir. We love having you in the comments section, but, you know, I've got that same mentality of, like, whenever I get out there and race, I just want to race. Love doing the calls, but, man, the racing part is what we always think about. But I'll stay back here in the booth for now because I really don't want nothing to do with this kind of track. This place is absolutely insane. TJ Lear in the onboard camera here. You can just see he is holding that thing on down to a T. Just trying to evade and trying to avoid any scenarios there. Philip Willis, number 4 GoPro, look like he might be kind of hanging around up top side here. Matt Mingo falls back further in the field. Looks like he might lose a little bit of that draft if he gives up too much run. Tyler Willard, definitely not going to let him catch up to him or get back in that end. Anthony Emmerich here getting a lot of help from Raj Manakputi here as well with Ron Holmes, Julian Conde, and Joe Tardif back in the packs here. That is the field separated out by a good margin. Remember though, they do go to lap 40. That'll be our first stage break. They have 3 stages, 40, 80, and then finally the end of the race. Right now, everybody's kind of keeping a close eye on that big 00 Captain Karakov here, waiting for him to make a slight mistake or give him a slight opening to really start to maintain distance and maintain gravel here and fit the grip if they so desire. Ryan Zebu here in the 10 has now got a little bit of a leg up on the old 00, and he looks like he's coming closer to the field. Grant Turner right now trying to giddy up on that thing and get some speed and get some drive off. For those that know, they know. Verizon Wallace number 3 here, Waylon Turner here currently right behind the Black and Decker 51. Trying to put an upper decker at that 16 Jesse Singleton camp here. Shipley on the full throttle 15 trying to help out his other full throttle Fantech crew driver Kenneth Brown. Nobody though giving an inch and no one giving any room for opposition or any kind of openings for any area to mess around with. The outside line is just not getting any power though. I'm just very concerned and not really understanding why that might be. The bottom lane seems like it's holding up just fine, and maybe they're just not pushing as hard. Maybe they're not trying to push nearly as much. Without being on that track, actually being out on that surface, I couldn't even tell you. Speeds right now well over 187 miles per hour, which I believe is faster than usually to go at a regular Atlanta. Oh, and Patrick Jenks here. The Fireball, Cinnamon Whiskey Dub, Toyota Tundra. Slamming in the wall protection there off of turn number 4. Gets right into the wall and has nowhere to go. Jenks now put a lap down. That's going to make things even more difficult considering how far these drivers are starting to get ahead of him. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. Everybody's starting to kind of maneuver through the field. Turner right now coming right up closer to Karakov. He's got a good march and charge right to him. The Bostech onboard camera here with Shibley now shows you all you need to know on what these guys are up to and trying to patrol with. Close proximity, close driving, and a lot of open area and open landscape to use up. Kirchhoff has relinquished the lead here. We have ourselves a new leader, and that could be because he's trying to save some more fuel for himself here. But Turner, taking the race lead away, now has an opportunity, but unfortunately the yellow flag pops on out. Problems for the Marines 33. Ron Holmes has come to a dead stop in turn 1 and 2. And unfortunately, that slows down the momentum. It slows down the drive just a little bit here. Let's take a look at the PT Master replay and see what happened here exactly. Anthony Emmerich into the wall protection to 23, coming off turn number 4. And this is where it comes through here. Turn number 1, looks like the 33 of Holmes goes a little bit too topside, a little wobbly. Take, unfortunately, a low ride there with Emmerich. That will set an early precedent and put the caution out on the track. But for now, Grant Turner is your race leader. We'll see if he can hold on to that lead as we're now about to set it down to the track. And listen in with the drivers. We'll have to see how the broadcasts go. We'll have to see how the drivers get into pit road here real quick. That'll be how I can handle the broadcast, is what I was just about to say there. And that's exactly what they're all going to do. They're going to go to pit road here. It looks like everybody except for Chase Shibley here. Interesting strategy here from the number 15 camp. I'm pretty understanding that he's probably up to some tricks here, but let's listen in here with the 15. He now joins me on the call. Shibley, you got a copy down there?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, sir. Right now, though, 10 spots up on the track, and currently looks like you're trying to get some more fuel out of your reserves here. How's the truck been handling, though?
The high line's loose after about 5 laps. It seems good, seems fast. This Rhino USA Bostech Chevy is pretty quick. Just trying to figure out what lines to go. It seems like the high line is great at first, but I can't really tell if it's momentum based or what it is right now.
Do you think a lot of folks are just kind of staying towards the bottom, maybe just to conserve their fuel and tires a little bit, or what are you thinking?
Well, I think I've got enough fuel now to make it to the end of this stage, just riding behind Kenneth at that point, just lifting into the corners and just coasting around. I'm going to save still here now, but I'm not sure, honestly.
Well, we'll have to find out, though. But nevertheless, Chase, thanks for your time here, sir, as we get you ready to fire him back onto the track.
Yep, thank you.
Jay Shibley, ladies and gentlemen, on the call here, listening in. Kind of listening in with some of our other guys here. Waylon Turner now joins me on the call. Waylon, you had quite a bit of some maneuvering and some driving off on the track here, but now kind of find yourself back in the second spot here. Does that kind of add to the nerves a little bit?
I mean, any track where people are able to relatively keep the same speed is always going to be very nerve-wracking. But I'm just hoping that I defy the results I've had in the past at Superspeedway-like tracks, and I'm just trying to get my first win of the season here.
Well, that's being a track that has evenings out a little bit, and I know, as you said, about your Superspeedway configurations, but you are having a restart on the outside, and it sounds like not a lot of love down there for that track end.
Oh yeah, certainly. Not a lot of people running this outside line. You're going to have a lot of trouble, so definitely going to try to get onto that inside line as soon as possible, especially with only a quarter of the stage left to go. I definitely want to try to get a stage win here as well.
Well, you definitely have a chance to get there if you can get it dialed up. Best of luck to you as you get ready for the restart.
Thank you.
Waylon Turner, ladies and gentlemen, here. He's trying to get Stella back up and ready to fire it back down on the track. We're going to go ahead and let the drivers do the talking from here. Race fans, yet again, here we are seeing kind of a new track, but what is once old is now new, I guess you could say. This is the first time we've ever seen Atlanta Motor Speedway with the Superspeedway configuration, or if you really want to call it, it's the 2022 configuration. This is the first time we've ever seen it laid down on the surface. Of course, for those that are not in the know or don't understand what happened to the old configured up Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old surface was war-torn and just pretty much at the point where it was pretty much done for. So NASCAR and the SMI folks had to make sure they did something with this track to keep it relatively alive and well. So what did they do? They turned it into a super speedway while also giving a fresh repave and introducing some higher bankings to make it a little bit better. And that is what they've now come up with, and now that is what the track has become. Many people are still a little bit mixed, and I'm relatively one of those folks. I kind of want to know the long-term future of this sport and the long-term future of this track, but only time will tell, and we'll have to see how it goes. But for now, the racing has been quite interesting with a lot of maneuvering and a lot of pushback in between. Every driver for themselves right now trying to get to the front. B.S. Putin here returns, and he says 23, got the lap back now, coming for the positions. Let's go. A little bit of love down there from him. We'll see how if he can get it down, but unfortunately he's still a couple laps back, so he's going to need a lot more time than that to get this one fouled in. You gotta remember that huge wreck earlier on the first lap. That really cost him dearly, and he was all over the place. I think it really was just due to, in large part, the track just being loose and being tough to tame on that outside versus the inside. And these guys right now are certainly working every angle of the track and every little spot they can, just trying to find their most speed, their most max amount of run. Back on here with Turner right now is TJ Lear, and at 3 is Grace 85. Okay, that's now two schemes I absolutely love. Gonna try to move ahead here of the one that's right below him there, Ryan Zebu in the 10. Remember, Zebu earlier on was having a field day and a half up on that front half, making a good drive to the front, but now finds himself kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place, looking to see if maybe he can keep it going. We're stuck in the middle, stuck on the top, stuck on the back. Turner right now managing to go back to the outside, but you heard what Shibley said earlier. The outside gets loose after a couple laps. Will that happen here? Oh, looks like the bomb's getting a little bit loose though. One driver spinning it down to the bottom. That's the 51, Singleton. And now Brown and Shibley are going to work in tandem together. Can they get their trucks lined up, and can they get these things dialed up the way they want them to? Waylon Turner is kind of a man without a home right now. He's looking for help. He's gone kind of homeless, and there are now supporters behind him trying to help him out up there. He's got the 85 with TJ Lear, the 48 of Trevor Keith, kind of mix in a little bit, and Brown getting to the bottom here. He's lost control of his own drive as well. What on earth is going on out here? You know, I thought there'd be a lot more passing on the outside. I think I take it back. The bottom lane's passing, and that's the wrong way they're passing. What on earth is going on? This track has not only been reconfigured and changed, this really changed the way we got to call this race. 10 laps left, and right now they are in desperate need of some stage points. Whoever wants that front half, they can certainly go for it. Anybody's guess, though, as they come rocketing towards you on the front straightaway. Look at Karakov, though. Here comes that big 00. He's making Waylon Turner think about this one as he's looking for Shibley in the front of him. But even if he gets that jump, he gets that bump, he gets that little bump on him, I don't know how much the speeds are going to be really affecting him there. Oh, it seemed to be affecting him quite a bit. Look out. Here it goes. This 15 Shibley. And Shibley getting a little bit loose, gets sent to the bottom half just like that. Him and Brown both suffering for their troubles. And Turner on the outside looking for the pass to the inside. Can he get the run? Karakov bobbles, and Turner now taking the lead. Oh my word, this is something, I tell you. I'm used to saying on Superspeedways, you'll see a lot of pushing and shoving to get the other driver ahead. This is a completely different statement. That is some bumping running right there. What on earth? The fact they were able to hold their line though and stay out of trouble, that's even more impressive. This is getting pretty chaotic here in Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia, what have we created on iRacing? What has become of this track? This is just absolutely chaotic. This is madness, I tell you. Turner right now trying to seal a deal and trying to make a drive up there. TJ Lear, he's going for broke. He's going for the win. He wants that stage win. He knows if he's going to do it, he needs some help here. Karakov, though, is going to punch it on the outside. Now going to make things a lot more difficult for him. They'll send it up their way. Uh-oh, look out down there, though. Zebu's in trouble. Can he save it? Oh, it's close. It's close. He's save it. Oh, Hunter Bailey losing off a turn 2. Zebu was able to save it, though. Oh my word. Oh, Karikov gets a piece of it. They're not saving this one. They can't save it. Spun around. Caution's out. Oh, my word. Karikov going in pit road, and I guarantee you he's probably going to tell his pit crew when some guys fix this truck, and we're going for a big 3 out there. I'm betting you right now. I don't think he's too happy about that one. Let's take a look at the PCM instant replay. Watch this, came right off the corner. Turner drifts up slightly. Karikov nowhere to go, and when you're packed in like that, there's nowhere to survive from. And TJ Lear just getting eked in. Karikov slamming the inside wall protection. Unfortunately, there was nothing he could do about it, and he knew it. TJ Lear, I gotta believe, just an innocent bystander in all this, and of course, that is the risk you run on these plate tracks. Wait a minute, did I just call Atlanta Motor Speedway a plate track? Well, the good news is for TJ, he did a pretty good job avoiding everybody. Didn't take any damage from the driver's end, at least, but unfortunately, I think his pride may be a little hurt. Travis Johnson saying, oh boy, here we go. Well, you're not wrong, but I'm kind of curious to know what the heck these guys are thinking down there. Let's take it back down and chat up with some of them here. Let's listen in with the number 12, Matt Mingo, now joining us on the line. Matt, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Mingo, right now, man, I can see you were kind of evading everyone in the back, trying to stay out of trouble, but how the heck do you not get in trouble here?
A lot of awareness. A lot of awareness.
Well, I mean, it seemed like there was a good amount of awareness up front here until all of a sudden trucks started to climb up from the bottom and then shifting up to the outside. Is there some flat spots or some areas down on that bottom apron that's making these guys kind of drift up more for this track?
Well, on entry, it's pretty rough on the corners because like the car doesn't quite settle down because it's hitting the bottom of bottom of the car is hitting the ground because of that big banking transition. So it kind of just wants to move the car up. Plus, I don't know how fast we're going, but we're going pretty quick.
Well,
And it just, yeah.
Well, I can tell you your speeds are 187, 185 miles per hour. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. It's definitely not slow. Going from pretty much flat to a high bank track or high bank corner, it's definitely gonna upset the car a little bit, which will make it push up some. But yeah, I'm just happy that I got this Keystone corner behind my teammate. Or Keystone corner truck behind my teammate.
For sure there. All right, well, Mingo, you definitely got your hands written in full for this one. We'll see what happens as you bring it back to the line, sir.
Thank you.
Matt Mingo, ladies and gentlemen, ready to get back under the pressure and back into the fold. And whew, my word, he is absolutely having to find a way to get up to the front. He's not going to get that chance. We have not finished our stage, so I think we may see a little bit of a regression here. This is pretty much going to be a green-white checkered for those that are keeping count. Waylon Turner, though, man, way he drifted up off of turn number 3 and 4, absolutely getting shot out of a cannon. It looks like he's going in the back. Turner is getting sent to the back of the outhouse here. Wait just a minute. I think he's disagreeing with that statement. I don't think he wants to go to the back. I think he's trying to tell the officials, what did I do? Well, what you did is, unfortunately, was get a caution, my friend. There's not much you can do about that. That will move Mingo literally into the race start here for this stage. Can he take this one home now? He's going to have to go one more lap around, though, before he can get it set. Turner, though, I guarantee you, is not a happy camper for that call, and I can't blame him, but there's not much really we can do on this show here, I can tell you that. Let's take a listen here real quick before we get back into the action. Trevor Keith now joins us online. Trevor, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, right now, currently, Keith, the 48 has had its fair share of some NOS energy drink wild moments, but as you try to re-energize and get yourself squared away, how the heck you faring to feel on this last restart before the stage 1 ends?
Oh, just trying to keep it clean for now. You know, the last couple races haven't gone my way, so I'm just trying to secure some stage points here. Keep it clean. Keep that fast repair. You know, don't use that fast repair. That's the main thing.
Certainly is indeed, but I'll ask you too, I mean, with the slightest bit of damage, any of that, does that really affect the aerodynamic properties of this truck, or do you feel like it's just kind of one of those divergent entities you got to get around?
Oh, I mean, a little bit of damage probably wouldn't hurt too bad, but you don't want to get that nose dented up or anything. So.
No, sure there. All right, well, nevertheless, Keith, appreciate your time. Best of luck as you get ready to fire back up, sir.
Thank you.
Trevor Keith, ladies and gentlemen, number 48 on the line. All right, here we go, race fans here. And yes, if you have been reading our little marker, I did put Atlanta SS on the title card there. That's because, well, really it's a Superspeedway configuration. So we kind of put that there for that reason being. But on this restart here, it's pretty much white and green, white checkers, and that's it. Green, white, and then a checkered for the stage 1. Off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. We got to finish stage 1 here, boys. Keep it clean. Let's go. I say keep it clean on a track like this. I don't think anyone's going to keep it clean. Bingo, Jenks, Singleton working right up the front, and Grant Turner dropping the baseline, sending it on its way. He's got the race lead, but behind him comes a back stacked field of Shibley and Brown already punching to the front. They're going full send, full bore. Jenks maybe looking to the outside. I don't think he wants to try to risk it. Off the final corner, though, leading it down to the green-white checker. We have lap 40 now put in. Turner and Mingo gonna go for it here. Turner has the lead. Mingo maybe looking to shoot for the run, shoot for the end. Every driver for themselves as they are firing hard on the outside. Last minute preparations going here, and Mingo sends it topside. He's gonna go for the move off of turn number 4. Does he have a drive off? Does he have enough momentum? They'll see it to the end. Off of the finish. And that one's just Mingo by a matter of inches there. He does take that one home. Oh, but they wreck behind him, though. Kenneth Brown into the grass. Manages to save it. Can he? No. Chase Shibley gets a piece there from Ryan Zebu, and major damage has just been thrown in the 15. Shibley is in trouble now. That right side just took a good head and a mark from one of the other drivers. I believe the 10 of Zebu got him there. Matt Mingo, though, will take home stage number 1 here in a last-minute ditch effort and a hard drive off. Absolutely pouring his heart and soul into that one. What a end cap for that, my word. That's just the chaotic world we call racing sometimes, and my goodness, that was absolutely chaotic to say the least. We'll take it down now and chat with some of the other guys here as we are now getting ready to get back to getting squared up to square 1. But let's listen in with one of our drivers involved in the incident earlier on. TJ Lear in the 85 now joins us on the call. TJ, if you got a copy, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, since earlier on, man, I know this was not the way you were planning on getting this race going, really kind of setting yourself up for pace, but that hit earlier that you suffered with Karakov and Waylon Turner definitely kind of set the field back a little bit, including yourself.
Yeah, I was in good position for stage points there, and then, nope. Okay, well,
Well, Damien didn't bring you on the call here when literally everyone's
Yeah.
decided to kind of wreck. You had no damage on that first wreck. Now, actually, you just got it for absolutely doing nothing there.
yep. Well, that was very unfortunate there. Kind of distracted. But yeah, that was not the way I wanted my stage to end. I think I got 10th there. I think I got at least a stage point, but I was definitely in position for more there, and then I think the two got together in front of me, sending the don't know what number that was up into the wall
00.
when I got into them. Luckily, I was able to lock the brakes up and just keep it there, and everybody else went around me.
Yeah,
But, unfortunate.
very unfortunate indeed. But Waylon Turner and Karakov, yeah, they got into one another, unfortunately. Turner went up a little on that bottom lane and kind of into the 00 of Karakov. But nevertheless, though, Lear, as you've taken the instant repair, do you think you might be able to come away here with a solid little stage 2 here, or you think you're just going to have to try to stay away from the packs?
I'm definitely looking for stage points here in this stage. I'm gonna be probably more aware because it was very sudden. It gets very loose on the top side, so I might stay on the bottom, but you also have to be aware of that of people coming back down the track after they wreck. So still gonna be looking for stage points, but now that I'm without my faster pair, gonna have to be a little more alert, a little more cautious, so that I can make it to the end.
Well, all I'll say is just gotta turn on I Am Machine and then go from there with the 3 days grace, and that's all I'll say. So, anyway,
Yes, sir.
we'll send you back to the booth here. Nevertheless, best of luck, TJ.
Thank you.
MMT chap, right?
Yep.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Oh man, definitely a cat in his own right, but definitely a good guy as well. Looking just trying to stay out of trouble, but he finds himself more off trouble than often than not. Race fans, well, those that are tuned in with us and still on the show, first off, thank you so much for tuning on out. And also, if you guys would, don't mind, be sure to give us a little like and subscribe here and follow us up on our Facebook. We'll have this race in its entirety there later on. Also, if you are new to the show here, be sure to share it around, show your friends, show your family, show everyone around here. When PTM Racing TV goes live, two things happen. One, the magic happens, and two, the craziness of motorsport rears its ugly head. Field will set their way back on track and back in place here. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on next or what goes down on the surface here. Going right back to the line, back to the start. Green flag back on out. We still got some work to do here, boys. Well, we'll fire them off through the first sectors and through the first corners. Nothing too bad right now. Clean as a whistle so far, but how long does that last? I have absolutely no idea, because honestly, we've seen these guys go literally haywire when they absolutely need to and when they have to. So there's really no telling who can get the advance first and who can stay under control the longest. I think it really just boils down to strategy and pacing your run when you can. Back off of the track though, Raj Manaputi here is currently holding the lead off the 67, staying toward the bottom. Philip Willis, the 4, he's been in the spot before. He's going to try to change that with a good effort here. Up ahead of him though, I believe that is the 18 of Julian Conde. Oh, it's big in trouble, Raj Manaputi up a turn 2, the same corner that got Anthony Emmerich earlier. Gets Raj here as he goes straight down the bottom and below the apron. I'm not sure if he was worried about Conde or he got a little tag in the back there, but it seems like if you bump them the sliced bed, these things do not settle well. It's a different kind of race on this 1.5 miles. I'm not really sure you can call it a plate race, and I think you gotta literally call it an old fight out. This is literally just bump, dragging, hard racing fights here. This is what it looks like to me. Driver doesn't get out of your way, simple. Just pull the Earnhardt on him. Just get him out of your way. Philip Willis, though, for the first time today, has got the race lead, but for how long? Because right now Karakov's opening that Camp Light 00 right into his playing field. Well, look at how close they are right now together. Just absolutely packed, stacked, and nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. There's not a lot of breathing room there. And you can see they're trying to evade going anywhere near that bottom lane there. They do not want to disrupt the momentum, disrupt the key speeds they are carrying through these turns. But going to that bottom lane and into that apron line, that actually hurts them more than they realize. And they know it too. Matt Mingo set top side, 3 wide salute. TJ Lear trying to not get in that mess. He doesn't want to become the animal I've become. He wants to stay clear and not cause a riot. Oh, but they're going to have a ride back behind him. Trevor Keith gets tagged around, and the 48 Tracker Boats goes for a spin. Well, the good news is for Keith is it didn't look like he took any damage from that spin or that tail whip there. But the bad news is now he's also got a little bit of tire burn off just from that little smack there. One more look at the replay. Came right out that corner, got in with Kelly Hyatt there. Hyatt barely tagging him and got him all loosey-goosey, and around she goes. Wow. Chaotic, crazy, and absolutely all over the place. That is the way of racing. When we come back, Fair Race fans, your top 5 right now: Matthew Karakoff, Grant Turner, Philip Willis, Jesse Singleton, and Matt Mingo hold the keys to the top lanes, but who will be able to take them down? Find out when we return. Tonight's race has been presented in part by our friends at Speedmaster Boats. What is Speedmaster Boats? Well, very simply put, they're the championship-winning remote control monoboat design and the world record-setting remote control monoboat. Be sure to email them up at speedmasterboats@gmail.com to get yourself the set of boat you can use for your next outing. And by our friends at Bostech. They are the ones that offer a wide variety of diesel-related parts such as EGR coolers, diesel and gas injectors, Class 1 to Class A pumps, CP3, HPLP, common rail, and HEUI related parts, sensors, harnesses, etc. Reliable parts and reasonable pricing. Check us out today and start saving. We keep America moving. So after all that chaos, after all that madness we just saw earlier on, the field now starting to throw themselves a little bit of a monkey wrench into their plans, or a little bit more tire off in the distance. Kind of take a listen in here with some of our other guys right now. Tyler Willard now joins me on the call here. Tyler, you got a copy down there?
Yeah, I do, man. What's up?
Well, right now, bud, you have had yourself a little bit of a day. You hung back earlier in the back of the pack there, then you now start to make your little drive up to the front. What has changed here in this big 20 Toyota Tundra?
Just be able to save a little bit of tires, but, you know, be able to have grip where other people aren't, that are running their tires down. You know, people making mistakes, take advantage of them and pass them. You know, people getting loose. You know, just playing my cards right and passing when I need to, and passing when I'm not supposed to, and just not putting my nose where I'm not supposed to be.
Now, I have a serious question about that too. You just mentioned about tire wear. How much has this track actually affected on the tire wear since this configuration has changed?
Like, it's a super speedway with tire wear, man. You still getting the same tire wear, but at the same time you're still able to hold the line better because the banking's higher. So it's pretty easy to manage your tire wear if you know when to back off, you know when to accelerate, when not to, and have a smooth line. So
very interesting to hear and very keen to know. Well, nevertheless, so thank you for your time here and a little insider info down on the track. Tyler, best of luck as we get you ready to fire them off again.
appreciate it, man.
Tyler Willard, ladies and gentlemen, here in the 20 machine, giving us a little insight on that tire wear, and he's saying point blank it's the same burn off they had on old Atlanta. The only difference is they can still stay in the throttle, but they can't push nearly as hard, if you will, on that whole plate track mentality that you usually would see. And that honestly was what I was very curious about and very a little nervous about as well. Was, you know, we saw earlier on Waylon Turner pushing his equipment so hard. Karakoff, once he got nudged and took him for a ride, he had no control over his tire wear or his speed. So his power was just absolutely sent skyrocketing to the outside and to the right side end. We're going to be in a very tip-top priority shape here, and a very interesting little spot here off of turn number 4, though, down to that front straightaway, back to the green. Grant Turner and Philip Willis will lead us back to the promised land. The promised land of hard racing, hard bumping, and just get the heck out of my way racing. Well, I mean, like I said, it definitely runs like a plate track, and it definitely looks like a plate track the way these guys are going at it. But again, it's just not a plate track. But with that tire wear now added in for that, that literally throws a monkey wrench at everything. That's like taking the Deleras to Daytona and then seeing how much tire wear you can burn up there while also still trying to get as much speed and power on that giraffe line. That just sounds completely out of control and nuts to me. Matt Mingo, oh, speaking of going completely nuts, he's gone to the bottom. He's saying, to heck with all you guys, you have lost your mind. I think he's trying to avoid some drivers in that mid-pack there, or in that mid-range. I don't think he wants nothing to do with them. Hunter Bailey at 24 earlier on did find himself in a little bit of a dilemma earlier, but it's staying pretty clean, pretty cordial here at the moment. Might be trying to avoid problems later on, maybe trying to avoid some other guys in the rest of the field. Pack's starting to square in and really start to get closened up. Waylon Turner, the number 3 right now, kind of mixing it back up to the front here as Philip Willis holds on to the race lead. Meanwhile, we haven't talked about this yet here, but you can actually see the 3 Mountain Dew schemes. These guys are working together in a very different style of movement here. They are waiting out for everyone to make their own little trouble and destroy themselves out. It's an old strategy I see all the time. I've used it myself actually, where you just really kind of hang back with the team and let everyone else either drive way too hard and end up costing themselves. You save your tires, you save your fuel, you save your speeds, and then you can just use it on them when they least expect it. I think that's their plan right now, and it is working to perfection. But again, is it going to end up giving them a race win, or is it going to end up finding themselves in the pit of oblivion? We're going to have to see. Rod Manaputi here in the 67, currently moving the chains up, making some moves off of the distance, trying to stay right in the pack here, but not getting too close where he's going to stuck with these guys in the front half. The front half, again, they're driving so hard, but at the same time, they're burning up so much equipment that you really can't even notice. Even the bottom lane, you're burning up a lot, whereas the outside, it seems like that groove is just getting looser as they go, and they start to really wear and tear, but I don't know. It just seems like more often than not, those that are kind of figuring it out later in the race, usually are the ones that win it out on these plate track races. And that be the case for guys like Tyler Willard or even Patrick Danks, who earlier on was absolutely set back into the outhouse, had really nothing to gain for it, nothing to go. Hard to really say, but you can just see just how close cut and close cornered everybody is right now. We are on the Bostech blip cam right now as we are halfway done with this race here, race fans. The Atlanta, Georgia, you have certainly put on a show, though, and brought us something completely different we have never seen. Even when, and I repeat, even when those next-gen Cup cars were a 550 horsepower package car and were pretty much designed to plate race on circuits like this, I had never once seen a race as crazy and out of control as this one has been. Singleton right now kind of crossed up there as he continues to put his SR Tundra number 51 and just up into the battle and up into the zone. TJ, they're kind of staying around that place here. Everybody looking pretty good right now, trying to get whatever level they can. Remember, stage points go from 10th to 1st here, and again, that can in the opposite help out for your cause and help out for the long run. And that's exactly what everyone is right now looking at. They're looking at trying to get the most amount of points from stages, the most amount of points that you gather in the race itself, leading up to that big finish there we always talk about. Pushing right up ahead though, Philip Willis getting a lot of help there from Zebu as well as Turner on the draft on the outside. Phillips might be looking towards the bottom. No go yet. Nothing there. Still starting to get calamity'd in and kind of cloaked and cluckered back in. Everybody looking pretty good still, but man, it is getting pretty wild in that mix-up. Still no one completely overshot or overlaying their field. Really kind of abusing their welcome here. That's the way I'm gonna explain it. Overstaying your welcome is one thing, but getting a little too crazy is a whole other story, and that's what everyone's trying to avoid. Can't really get out of that spot though, and they can't really get away from each other, so that's what they're having to literally trying to navigate and manage their way through. Patrick Jenks here looks like he'll lose some points here. Some damaged up truck, and he is having way too much problems down there on the track. Tire wear may actually have factored in and maybe hurting him more than they realize. You're seeing the heavy hitters right now absolutely kill it here with this final drive and this final performance here. But the tire wear is starting to affect both sides of the camp because everybody's pushing and shoving each other around. Clocking in speeds of 186, 187, 188 miles per hour for one of them, that being Tyler Willard. These guys are just flying, man. These are 550 horsepower trucks, and they're making them look like they are cup cars right now on a normal track. Looks like Willis might have a slight edge, though Turner got him back on the front stretch of the tri-oval, quad oval, call what you will. Uh-oh, Singleton, watch out for him there. So I'm a little loose. He's getting a little bit loose, and you can just see that tire wear is starting to factor and play a big role here. Can he hang it on? Look at him having to work that wheel around. That's not something you usually see him do. He is having to absolutely fight the steering, fight the truck. He's not going to fight it very much more, though. He's in trouble with TJ Lear passing him back, but the yellow is out before they can make the pass. And that might be a huge break for him because he was literally aiming at being thrown to the wolves there. But Trevor Keith, with problems down there with some other drivers, slows them down and brings them back to reality. Oh my word. That just completely reversed things out. Ryan Zebu, though, unfortunately, I guarantee is not going to be too happy about this one. Waylon Turner getting into him here, and then the 24 and the 48 getting calamity'd in, and the 00, Matthew Karakoff once again taken out, and Karakoff is just not catching a break here on this track. Even when he stayed back here, here's what happens. See, Waylon Turner gets into him, thinks he's gonna be okay, goes to the outside, then he tries to avoid the bottom and gets stuck in there. And I know there is no math wizardry you can do to just get out of that mess. Their number one seed has literally been defiled and derailed on the track. Unreal. And again, there's not a lot you can do. There's just really no places to kind of get out of the way or get in the position or kind of stay out of trouble. And a lot of these guys are finding that out the extreme hard way here, unfortunately. Wow, I'd love to listen in right now and see what that JDJ team is right now up to, because Dominic Previtt and Josh Previtt have been pretty much back and forth with one another on keeping their lines in check. Joe Tardif also one of those guys. So let's listen into them here as they have some top tier level winners here. Let's listen in first with Dominic Previtt here as he joins me now on the call here. Dominic, got a copy down there, sir?
I do.
Hey man, right now you and your family member, as well as Joe Tardif, have been kind of staying in the back of the outhouse and maybe looking at that White House from a distance. What's going on down there? Are you guys just trying to stay out of trouble, or you just want to keep everything more in your favor?
Just trying to stay out of trouble and keep them together for the end.
Well, keeping together for the end, that kind of brings me to my next point. Can these trucks be push draft, or at all, can they actually get any run from that? Because it seems like a lot of guys are getting loose off some of these corners when you push them around.
I think you can bump draft a little bit. You just got to have the right combination. I know earlier we were just riding around. I was on the bottom, and the back end just started walking out on me, and thankfully I caught it. But they tires are going to become an issue here the later we go.
For sure there. Whenever it's Dominic, we really appreciate your support and help us out down here.
I appreciate it, guys.
Dominic Previtt, ladies and gentlemen, here taking a little bit of time to explain how he's working his field and working with his team to help out for the cause. My, now look at this here. Only a couple laps remaining here before we end stage 2 and then send it on its way to the final stage. So much craziness built in, so much times to be alive, and absolutely wild scenarios to say the least. Grant Turner in that Teku 96, although he's forgetting his number down there. He is ready to field him in and put him back on full performance, on full display. Off the distance zone in turn number 4. Bring him back to the green flag line. Send them on their way here. We still got 8 laps left in stage number 2. Singleton's going to go back to the bottom. So will Waylon Turner, and Tyler Willard staying right in that mix. Philip Willis going up high side here. And you got to think to yourself, is there anything left in that Ford GoPro anyway? As the tires taking too much damage, have they taken too much abuse? We're just about to see as Turner goes top right in, top line, round right in bed. The Verizon Wireless 3 wants points and he wants positions. Feels like he's owed one from that last position there he dealt with in the last stage. Whether he was dealt a bad hand or justifiably taken for what he had done, who knows? Who's to say? You be the judge there. But here right now, there's no doubting he's getting all it's worth here at Atlanta. He's got the lead. Not only does he have the lead for only for the second or third time today, but he is currently looking to take home another points position in our points get. Chris crossing up and again and fielding back and forth in position here. Look out for Ryan Zebo, the 10. The Unicol Low Union machine is moving its way ahead. He's trying to get some drive off as 50 and Shipley. Chris crosses up, takes before though a little bit. Philip Willis able to hold line, got kind of bumped around there though. Turner lost his momentum now. It's Waylon Turner lost his momentum. Grant Turner right now is in your race lead. Jesse Singleton trying to keep up with him. Grant, that is, looking for a huge stage point get and a huge helping for the rest of the future that lays in wait. Any points you get in stages can be the difference maker between success and failure. He knows this. That's why he's so keen and focused. Every driver themselves here right now, and there's not a lot of room for mistakes, not a lot of room for openings here. Well, send to the top side. Watch out. Trevor Keith in the wall protection. Everybody avoids. Everybody evades, gets out of the way. Look at this though, 15 Shibley. Huge run for the big Rhino machine. And even with that damage on that right side, it doesn't seem to affect him much. He had a huge drive and a huge amount of speed going towards that run for Turner, and Grant Turner was able to block him off with Waylon Turner punching the 15 as hard as he could to get him ahead. Just nowhere to run and nowhere to hide though, man. I don't even know how the heck any of these guys can still think, let alone drive. GoPro onboard camera Philip Willis now shows all you need to know here as he tries to keep Juggernaut 20 of Waylon Turner in his sights while dealing with Waylon Turner as well. Tyler Willard right now just staying in control and staying right up into the mix and in the pack as we are now approaching the final legs. This is the white flag of stage number 2. Grant Turner trying to hold on. Shibley looking for it all on the outside. Here they come now. It is neck and neck, back and forth, still looking for the drive. Shibley needs the points. He's 10 spots up, looking for a clear-cut corner. Turner 6 up spots now. And Shibley in trouble. Up in the air goes the 15. We've got a huge wreck off of turn number 3 and 4. Grant Turner will escape with the points and the stage as the yellow flag flies out, but my goodness, Shibley sent packing to the outhouse and through the skies he went, going straight for the upper room. The 15 damaged up badly, driver okay, but unfortunately a blown motor may have just derailed anything he had at stake and on the line here. And it looks like our old pal Waylon Turner gets involved in this one too. I'm not saying anything other than he has been pushing some bumpers around and extremely aggressive, but I don't know how well he could have got away with this one here. This was a huge calculated move, and unfortunately I think just lack of experience here on this track did everybody in, and they know it too. Waylon Turner with a massive blown motor on that one. That is going to cost him dearly for that. That's that Pacanel. That was a picture right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Just a huge hit and just a huge risk of reward. Sacrifice is all you can think about when you drive off. Grant Turner will take the stage point by a matter of timing and luck, if you will, but that is definitely what he needed. He needed all of it to get that to even happen for him, so have to see how that fares and how that shakes up from here. Time to take a listen in with some of our team drivers here. Ron Holmes now joins me on the call here. Ron, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, right now this 33 Marines machine has been pretty much in every other angle and every other spot you can think of from the top to the bottom, but now as you get past all the wreckage and the carnage here, how are you feeling and faring for this final stage?
Well, I can tell you right now, I do not know how I made it through that last accident. They were all going every which direction, so be honest, I'm going to do what I can. Hopefully, and God willing, everything will be on my side. But, you know, these guys are tough to beat, I can tell you that much.
They certainly are indeed, but I can also say there is a little bit of damage that you got going on the truck. Has that played a factor on how the speeds kind of transition here for you?
No, not at all. I mean, I had 18 seconds of optional repair. I got that fixed the last time in. Looking at the truck on the outside, Jenks's truck, and looks like he's got quite a bit of damage. So hopefully I can follow Willard, you know, the rest of the race all the way through. I still got to pit one more time, but you know, we'll see how it plays out.
Certainly indeed. Whenever that's wrong, we do appreciate you at least giving us your insight and feeling on the track. Thanks for your time here, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for all you do, and awesome job broadcasting, sir.
I appreciate the support, sir. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Holmes, number 33 Marines machine, currently ready to get back on full power and full stake here, and you can even hear it just in his voice. He feels like he was given a little bit of a break, but now can he capitalize on it? It's one thing to catch a break, it's another to use it when you need to. We'll have only so many amount of laps left here. Literally only 37 laps remaining on this start. That could make the difference between success or failure. We're about to find out. Field trying to get packed back together, back in position as the green flag flies high on out again. And you know, that strategy earlier that Dominic Previtt, Joe Tardev, and Josh Previtt came up with, yeah, that's looking pretty good right about now, I'll say that much. Kenneth Brown's going to be a man all alone. He has no help and no friends to work with. Chase Shibley's truck is DOA and decommissioned right now. Patrick Jenks here, even with that damage on that right side, seems to be holding up pretty well right now. Tyler Willard, though, for the first time today, taking the race lead away, and this has been an interesting day, to say the least. We've had multiple leaders and multiple drivers in a certain spot, from the likes of Karakov to Waylon Turner, to Philip Willis, Chase Shibley, to Ryan Zebu, to Tyler Willard now, even Patrick Jenks a little bit. And now it looks like Ron Holmes wants to kind of mix and match his way up into there. Even Matt Mingo, who is literally right now kind of packing him in the top 5 category, he's in this hunt here. He's not exactly just letting off there easily. So much on the line, so much at stake here. The laps are starting to wind down, tore up equipment and tore up trucks. But these guys seem to not mind or care whatsoever. Straight down to the cross the finish line here. Solid racing indeed here. Also, let me know, guys, in the comment section, the cameras, how do you like them? Do you think they're looking pretty good? Everything looking pretty all right on your end? I know last time we were broadcasting, we unfortunately had a little bit of an issue with our multi-stream, so unfortunately we had to cut Facebook out for the day, and we had to cut YouTube out as we go live on Facebook. So I am sorry to say we will not be doing any more multi-streams for a while, but we do appreciate and thank every single one of you guys that were at least able to stick with us and help us out. We're hoping to get it back up sooner rather than later, but we're not making promises right now. Joe Tardev is the number 1 here, and his teammates Dominic Previtt and Josh Previtt here just laying low. And having that Mountain Dew scheme on each of them actually does kind of help them out a little bit, because it allows them to see where the other is and where in position they may need to take off to or go for. Looks like Waylon Turner here, a lap down, going to be shifted back to the pack here. I guess they were getting a little bit tired of him, and unfortunately it looked like he had nowhere to go with that. Natasha Heckett saying, looking good on my end. Natasha, thanks so much for coming on board. Appreciate the support here. Laps starting to wind down here. Everything's starting to bolster up. Everyone's starting to bulge in a little bit. Looks like some of them may be trying to go towards the bottom line to conserve tires. They know this last run could be the last ending here. Tearing those tires up on that outside may not be worth their risk. Josh Previtt, though, doesn't seem to care to the 35. Look at this. He's starting to see if there's anything up there for him. He's leading all the room he wants, and that speed and power is coming in full grip. How is he able to hold that line down, hold that speed up? Simple. He didn't tear his tires up, and second, he was actually able to get a good drive off from the draft and now packs them back in. He is a hard charger. Look out for Previtt. The 35 is on the move. He's gotten 3 drivers now. Now he needs 3 more. Singleton up onto the bottom. Now trying to make the pass on him. Grant Turner keeping his momentum with Brown. Maybe trying to push and shove him a little bit to hang in there. Oh my word, race fans. This is what you like to see. Just absolutely the toughest and the baddest kind of racing, the closest corners and the tightest spots at speeds exceeding over 180 miles per hour. It doesn't get any crazier than this. Grant Turner right now trying to hold down, trying to stay out of trouble, but Previtt has now moved the chains on Brown. He's got an opening. He's got a seam, but can he get a push on the back stretch? It's going to be interesting to see down here in this corner if he gets any kind of extra run, any kind of extra speed. They're starting to pile in a little bit. You can see the pack starting to form off and kind of fade away. Previtt, though, he does have an opening, but the door is closed again by Brown. If I was Previtt right now, I'd have Mingo push me as hard as possible and get that bottom lane. But again, even if you lock the bottom up, you then have to worry about Brown pushing you around. And we've been seeing all day long, if you get pushed around on that bottom lane with the slightest bit of push, that can end up getting you loose or tight, depending on how much you tore that truck up. Previtt right now trying to tear the 98 a new one, though, because he's not happy. He's stuck up there, and he doesn't want to be up there no more. He wants to pass. He wants to run, but it's not coming to him. He's so close. He just needs a little extra. Or unless he actually wants to stay on that outside, but I don't know why you want to do that. Going to that bottom is going to be much easier, and the drive is much more pronounced. But again, I think he's just scared of what Brown will do. His teammates, though, Dominic Previtt and Joe Tardif, they're trying to now come for him and help him out. Tardif with a darker greened up #1 Mountain Dew scheme. The Previtt boys having the same kind of scheme, the same kind of designed up machines with 25 laps to go. Anybody's guess who takes this one home. Tardif right now watching 6 or 7 rows all day long. Now only come out 4 or 5. It is starting to clear up, and it is starting to switch back a little bit. Everybody just trying to save and conserve as much as they can on fuel and as they can on tires. But again, with how close it is, you gotta wonder yourself when they have to go into pit road, how will they fare there either? Can they get into pit road without having too much troubles, or will it end up costing them dearly? And what about those pit crews down there too? How well are they going to be faring when they get in there? Well, here's how the pit stops have been looking so far. It's been, if you can stay out for about 39 laps, you had pretty much a golden point, had a golden goose shot there. But I'm going to tell you right now, there is no way they're going to be able to go that kind of distance, that kind of drive off for that long. They're going to have to pit in eventually here, because they're going to be short just a little bit. Question is, who falters first and who has to go in first? Kelly Hyatt right now in the 26, right behind the 48 of Trevor Keith, who is on the lead lap. And then, of course, unfortunately, a sad tale for that 85 of TJ Lear, way behind ground and way behind position. At this point, I think he just wants to find a way to get out alive at this point. Brown, uh-oh, look at this. Brown's starting to have some trouble. The Bostech Bandtech 98 machine is starting to show its wear and tear. And I think Previtt is trying to capitalize on that. He's got an idea here. Turner, Grant, that is, might be also bumping him around a little bit, making things a lot more difficult for him and the crew. As the field and the Kings try to stay in line and stay on the verge and on the mark. Oh my word, this is how close it is, how tight. You you have to be just to make sure you don't get in trouble and make sure you don't find yourself in a bad scenario. And here we are now just watching an incredible battle between the Truck Series, the SRM Truck Series of Misfitz iRacing League, going at it for a true duel and a true big field moment. Previtt, though, lost a lot of speed there. You saw him on the outside. The truck is fading. It is fading horribly here. That's just what I said earlier. I'd be a little bit nervous about. And even you can see Grant Turner trying to get to the outside to make a pass around the 98. They're running out of real estate and more room, if you will. They want more open area, but they're not going to get it. There's nothing they can do. There's nowhere to go. By the way, that 2400 Bailey is a lap down right now, so he is not on the lead lap. I don't think it really seems to bug him, though. I think really his main focus is just trying to stay more closely together and more closely tied in with the field and with the packs. Maybe then later on he might be able to get a break here or get a caution and get his lap back and then maybe go for the win, but I don't think he's really going to get that lucky here. I've been very wrong before, don't get me wrong, but I think I can play my hand right on this one. Grant keeping speed up. The Teku machine is currently trying to pump up the baseline and pump up the field with Brown right up ahead of him. Brown has been pretty much left all alone, but again, when Turner gets into that corner here on the final lap, that 98, I'd be looking for a way to find that grip and find that extra little steering input because that thing is going to get muscled around. Speaking of muscling around right now, those in the lead pack are also kind of firing off on the last pack. Trevor Keith, 10th place right now, trying to draft off from the rest of the field and from the rest of the driver's end here. You can just see how much of a fall from grace you can have with a track like this, a kind of a scenario like this. Oh wait, no, watch out down there on the back stretch. Willis and Shibley, a little bit connecting towards colliding, but they were able to hold tight, hold stable. They don't wreck each other out. Good save there, but that was a very, very dangerous scenario there. 14 laps remain here in Atlanta. Patrick Jenks going really far wide there on that 38. I don't know if he had planned on it or if he was just trying to find some extra speed, but that did not look very good to me. Raj Manapudi as well, lap down, but currently I don't think he seems to really care or mind. Josh Previtt here in the 35 right now, looking to embark and unite the Mountain Dew crew up into the fair, into the drive of the line. Laps remaining here. Really anything can go and anything will go down. Grant Turner looking for some speed, looking for some angles off in that 51. Black and Decker's 51 here. Jesse Singleton staying true to his form, staying true to his word. Kelly Hyatt though having to go to the bottom, get out of the way here for the field. Good sportsmanship and driving there. Kenneth Brown right now, I've got to believe, is probably feeling like the luckiest man alive right now because of literally what he's had to take on. Yeah, Dominic Previtt literally coming for his run, coming for his title there. And Josh Previtt was also in that mix and getting closer to the field. Then he had to deal with Singleton right now, especially right now as well. And then he had Grant Turner to come and fight for him. It was literally just a chaotic show, to say the least, for wherever he came, where he comes. launching him off the track here and launching him down to the field. It is still room and life for them all. 10 laps to go. Brown now looks like he might be going on defensive mode here. May have to start blocking a little harder on Singleton. Knows if he doesn't get too worked up, he has a good chance here. This one would all be but secured and done and over with. Laps now to go, and it's starting to get a little bit more frantic, a little more cluttered up, a little bit more stretched out. Singleton and Turner, the last remaining boys of the hunch here. This is starting to separate the field, but look out behind them. This is what we were waiting for. This is what we were thinking might come too. Look out, the Mountain Dew crew is on a charge. They're on a verge. And Brown, Singleton, and Turner, I gotta believe, are a little bit nervous knowing what's behind them. The sea of green. Dominic giving it all she's got. Switch over our tip right in the mix. Josh Previtt, though, is the one that holds the 35 on line and on trace. They're drafting as hard as they can to get one last leg up. Final 5 now with 5 laps to go this time on by. Their final 5 now coming through. Here is how they stack up. Brown, Singleton, Turner, Previtt, and Previtt. All in the running and all in the showcase for this race win. They are almost literally separated out by less than 1/6 of a second. That's not a whole lot of time when you think about it on a flight track, Superspeedway configuration like this. This pretty much means you better be making sure your tempo is done right, making sure you're not getting too crazy here. It's funny, in the stages earlier on, you saw a lot of guys just completely tearing up equipment, not caring too much about their own safe well-being. Now it seems like everything got flipped on its head here in the final stage, and everybody that may have been perceived as the aggressors and perceived to be the tougher ones, unfortunately fell themselves into the back of the pack here due to that kind of driving style. But this is exactly what they were hoping for when the other edge delay. Kenneth Brown, he's not going to have enough fuel. He's going to take the 98 to pit road. Jesse Singleton will take the lead. But does Singleton have enough? Brown, I think I was hoping for a little bit of help earlier so he can back off the throttle and not have to draft as much, but unfortunately that's not going to play into his role. 3 laps to go. Karakov rooting on his boy Jesse down there. Well, he's got the lead for now, but if he can hang on to it, that's going to be a bigger question. The big green fighting machines are still looking to narrow this one off just a little bit more. 3 turns to 2 to go. Green flag high in the air. Singleton and Turner back and forth on this one. The Black and Decker 51 trying to hold on. He knows Turner's coming for him. He's got to drive. He's going to start blocking. Look at him running to the middle, trying to block that like the run. Forcing the Teku 96 to rethink his strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring him to the white flag. And Josh Previtt's going to have to admit defeat as well. He's going to pit road. Here comes Dominic Previtt on the outside. One last move by the 39 going for broke. going for the drive. Tardif gonna try to help him. Turner's right in that mix. They're shooting down for the edges. They're shooting for the corners. Who's it gonna be? Oh, lap traffic blocks Turner. Turner blocked him. Turner blocked him. And they got troubles over Tardif off a turn 4. Jesse Singleton will be left all alone and win in the 51. Unbelievable. What a finish. And lap traffic, unfortunately, factors for the boys in the big green fighting machines. But for Jesse Singleton, I don't think he really cares. I think he's just happy to get this one off his radar. Ladies and gentlemen, the Toyota Tundra 51, Jesse Singleton, returns to victory lane here on Pizza Race TV. And a hard-fought, outright grudge fest to the end. And apparently in the comments section he had the best save earlier. Well, he can now say he has the best finish now out of this field because he got the top honors and victory set in his name. And you know what that means. If he's got any fuel left, I think he's going to set for some burnouts here. I don't think he's got enough. Oh, looks like he's got some life. Can he get it going? Go on, Singleton. He's trying. He's going to try it here. No, he's ran out of fuel. There ain't no more fuel in that 51. He's done. But nevertheless, race fans, on your feet here in Atlanta, Georgia, give it up for that 51, Jesse Singleton, your race winner here at Atlanta, Georgia. What a race and what a conclusion. Here is the final results now on your screen. And Jesse Singleton just barely taking down Previtt. Turner goes third. Tardif going fourth. Fifth to Mingo. Sixth to Previtt. Brown goes seventh. Eighth to Jenks. Ninth to Conde. And Manakpudi will take home 10th to round out the field in that sense. But what a race. Just absolutely, what a clinic. We were a little skeptical, and I was even a little skeptical myself about how this race would go and how the heck this track would even be for the racing. But they have left us with an understatement. This was absolutely pinnacle racing and a great showcase here for the Misfits. Let's take a listen now to your top 3 drivers here, race fans here. The one who pulls off the race win and pulls this one into victory lane. We'll see here now because Grant Turner in the Teku 96 brings it home and brings home the third place spot. So Turner, congratulations on that. And you know, I would have said it may have been a victory lane celebration for you, but it looked like you got kind of thrown for a little bit of a loop, bit of a curveball there in the last couple laps, sir.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a curveball with Kenneth pitting. All of us were trying to save fuel. If you actually even notice, both myself and Jesse, who won, he can't even do burnouts. He's out of fuel.
Oh,
I was sputtering out of 4. That's how close it was for us.
I mean, I was going to say, you guys look like you've been through war and back, and there's nothing left of these trucks to begin with. I mean, you got to tell me, though, man, I mean, this track has always been about literally trying to find the most speed and the right timing on fuel and for tire wear, but now you literally got to mix it into a super speedway configuration. I mean, how much of a difference does that make from old Atlanta?
Oh my gosh. A lot of people, it's one of those tracks now that either people like the new config or like the old config. But that's kind of leans on the way for me that I like the newer config because I'm more of a super speedway guy.
Well,
but it's always fun. No, whenever this was on the iRacing calendar, this was fun. No, nothing really to complain about except it does get hectic near the end.
it sure does, and it got pretty crazy. It got pretty wild here, but hey, nevertheless, though, what a performance and what an end cap to you and the crew. Is there anybody you want to thank for that?
I want to thank everyone here at Misfitz and SRM for letting us do this. I want to thank you guys for even just broadcasting this. This is always fun. I love doing these races. And the rest of the sponsors, too. It's like they help us keep this thing on the ground, and they let us do these races.
Certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, Turner, congratulations on this third place finish today. Very well earned and deserved, sir.
You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Turner will come home with a solid end cap here, taking home a third place finish. Dominic Previtt, though, the 39, will somehow, some way, find himself in that second spot here. And Dominic, congratulations on that. But judging by the way you told us earlier, and you were planning this out with the crew, it seemed as though you had the right mindset. But unfortunately, the fuel, tires, and I guess you could say even a little bit of traffic kind of changed that outlook a little bit, sir.
Yeah, no, our crew made the right call all day. Played it safe, had plenty of fuel there. I know they were all saying, "Oh, we're short, we're short." Me and the one behind us, we had plenty. Sucked coming off of turn 2. We were too wide, and then there was a lap car all the way up there. And instead of going to the bottom and letting the leaders, have the whole racing surface to race it out, and you have to run to the back of a lap car. I feel like Noah Gregson running into David Starr. It was just awful, completely unacceptable in my opinion. When knowing I had a shot to win that race because the other cars sputtered coming across the line,
Well,
and I knew I had plenty, so it sucks. Sucks finishing second when we should have won.
definitely a bit of a shoot in the shoot from the hip and shoot to the fight there, a little bit of that language. But I mean, hey man, at the end of the day, you still have quite a bit of fire underneath that hood. Do you think you can take that over to the next couple races? It seems like you're really gonna have to really use it here soon enough.
Oh yeah, we got plenty to go here. We're full of energy now, and we're as some people like to say, we got fast trucks and we're out here to trophy hunt. So
We're certainly there indeed. Well, nevertheless, Dominic, I know the second place is going to be a bit bittersweet, but nevertheless, as you come away with that, who do you want to thank here, sir?
I don't really thank all the guys at JDJ Motorsports, Josh and Joe, all them for all their help. Brandon, our other teammate, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but everyone over there, just that helps with what we do and everything. And appreciate you guys for putting on a good show, and just came up short.
Came up short, but hey, Dominic, there's still plenty of time in this season. You never know what to expect in motorsports, but best of luck here, and congratulations on the second place finish, sir.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too, ladies and gentlemen. The 39, Dominic Previtt, will at least come away here a second place runner-up, but the man that takes home victory, the big 51 returns, Jesse Singleton takes this one home. And Singleton, first off, congratulations on that race win, and what a fight from start to finish. I have no idea how the heck you even were able to get around all this mess and chaotic, sir.
Yeah, it kind of comes with this racetrack with them turning into a super speedway. We had a good car all night. Fast, we were up front most of it. A couple mistakes brought us to the back with it getting loose. I mean, this is the first time I ever drove this racetrack, so at the beginning it was more of a learning curve from me. But towards the end, I got a hang of it, and it felt really nice.
Yeah, it must have felt really nice, but I mean, it must have looked really nice because the way you were looking on our end, it looked like as long as you didn't find yourself trapped between traffic or trapped between issues there, it was pretty much yours set in stone, and you definitely gave it everything and fought everything to the end just to hold this one out for that one.
Yeah, definitely. That lap car had a big part in it. And then 98 pin. It was a whole debacle out there at the end with lap cars and everything, but that's racing for you. It's going to happen. I was able to pick the light line, get through there. Really saved me there was me having to come back in for that last time for tires. I actually forgot to put tires on. That's how I was able to save enough gas, because I had to come back in there, and it gave me just enough gas.
Well, I mean, sometimes his craziest scenarios will work out to be your best scenarios. Singleton, it did here, and what a way to cap off the first race ever here in Atlanta on our track under the new Superspeedway guidelines. So with that said, who do you want to thank here, sir?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you and the fans for putting on an amazing show, broadcasting every week. And I'd like to thank the league sponsors, Bostech, Speedmaster, all them.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Singleton, a big victory and a big seal of approval from us here. Congratulations. Well deserved, and good to see you back here in Victory Lane, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while since you've been in Victory Lane, ladies and gentlemen, but Jesse Singleton is your winner here at Atlanta. Well, race fans, that all but does it here. A big thank you again to the folks at Speedmaster and Bostech for their support this season on the Misfitz iRacing League SRM Truck Series. And for you fans out there that tune in to these wild shows and keep coming forth, you just keep coming back. We can't say enough but thank you. So that's set in motion, that's set in stone. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies.